it's a very tough thing to do.
That means roughly 13 million immigrants who enter the country illegally are at risk of deportation.
That's right.
About 4% of the U.S. population.
Oh.
To put that into perspective, the entire U.S. prison and jail population in 2022 was around 1.9 million people.
Scale is difficult for the government to carry out.
I'm going to be really shocked if they can actually deport that many people. I think what's going to end up happening is that they're going to deport, like, they're obviously going to do priority deportations, right? Where they're not going to immediately start deporting grandmas that have been here for 50 years. They're going to probably start deporting people that are, you know, young people that have committed crimes. I will be shocked if they end up deporting everybody. Gang members, like basically, and that's what you would want them to do, right? Like any logical person would say, okay, focus on the, you know, solve the biggest problems first, obviously.
Clint Melnick is a senior fellow at the American Immigration Council and liberal immigration.
Trump would have to do more than quadruple current ICE removals of people arrested in the interior just to hit the levels that we've seen previously.
I think you take a sequential approach to it. You start with what's achievable. Let's start with 1 million.
The details of the plan are still being worked out.
He's right. That's the right way to go about it.
But let's say Trump does decide to deport 1 million people a year. That could still cost about $88 billion annually and take 11 million people. And that's assuming 20% of people.
Yes, it's expensive, but the trade-offs I think are well worth it.
Ron Vitello led
I think that if you interviewed the
Don't forget,
people,
securing the mission area is your top priority.
I think that they would overwhelmingly support.
Help get that vehicle to its destination.
I mean, I'm against. I'm just making this up, right? But like, if like this is like my temperature check, I think that almost all of them would support that, even if the cost was astronomical.
The Immigration and Customs Enforcement Agency, known as ICE, for a year in Trump's first term.
Right now, the government is underfunded for its ability to detain people to be able to accomplish this.
I didn't always love my powers, but now I think they're great.
I'll be shipshape in no time.
You're halfway there. Keep going.
Much lower than the American immigration process.
Immortal chill. It's okay. A nice deep freeze. Feeling stronger already. Goodbye, turret. Snowball fight. Almost there. Don't turn back now. Be strong together. Let's deliver no weapons below the surface. Vehicle reached a checkpoint. Keep up the momentum.
Captain America, calling for medical assistance.
I like the cold. We're finding our groove once this weapon is no longer a threat. Show's over.
We'll know who we're going to run.
Dragon Unleashed! A nice deep freeze.
We might stand a chance.
Feeling stronger already. We're finding our groove. Move around. That one. That's it! Don't let anything stand in your way. Be strong together. I don't have to be center stage. Just like I saw before.
That's the boost I needed.
The perfect hex! Be strong together. nice deep freeze. So close! This is your big chance! We're finding our groove. That one hurts.
In the Battle of Iron, fist beats enemy ahead. Prepare to
We're
engage.
gonna be strong together. Another epic victory! Big win!
House, they might have to stake out a work site.
The American Immigration Center estimates ICE would need to hire over 30,000 new law enforcement agents and staff, making it the largest law enforcement agency in the federal government. The law enforcement could be directed via task forces to help package arrests.
I think a lot of people would sign up to do it too. I do. I actually think that a lot of media vastly underestimates how many people just want to get the illegal immigrants out of the fucking country. I don't think that they really care if you're a dreamer, if you're, you know, a criminal. I think maybe if you were in 2020 or like 2016, people probably did care more, or at least they pretended to care. I think now they don't. Yeah, get 'em.
You'll need a top-notch team to win this one. I'm Luna Snow. Like the moon, I shine in darkness.
Is being a Nazi. I think that you're doing disservice to actual Nazis by comparing the two things. You're making them seem like this is like just a difference of opinion. So, yeah, it's very, very dangerous. Shouldn't be saying that.
Superpowers are amazing. Also, the ice effects look great on stage.
Do you truly believe you can stop my grand
30
scheme?
seconds before you attack. Get ready.
Better to have it than not, but not.
Tis a pleasure to see you, my dear.
I wish I could say the same.
Asgard has been invaded yet again. What is on your mind?
But you shall always be welcome on Krakoa.
Thank you for the invite, but I think I will pass. The battle starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Help get that vehicle to its destination. Leave the magic to the grown-ups.
Insolent fool. Much better. One of Moon Knight's audits, I presume. There are more of them than expected. I'm good to go.
Be strong together. I like the cold. Get that vehicle moving again! Be your best son. Midnight placed an oak. I like the cold. They're right behind you.
Oh, they do not look happy. Better kick it up again if we're gonna save the tree.
I got you!
Well,
I'm back in the fight.
as I said, I think this issue and the
Much better.
Ready to strike.
I think
Be your best self. I'm hurt. I suck. Yggdrasil's roots are drying. You have to speed up.
Rest now, my child. Your troubled days are over.
Us against the world. I was worried. I need assistance. Get that vehicle moving again. Put on a show.
Seems we have prevailed. I will crush them all.
Interesting.
piece of me now. The moon haunts you!
Someone needs a snowball in the face.
that there are a lot of people out there that don't
Be strong together. Feeling stronger already.
Magneto!
I need assistance.
Moon Knight has set a trap.
I like the cold.
Again.
Get that vehicle moving again! Thanks so much. Us against the world!
Right behind you. Target is ours.
My life energy flows strong.
Behold!
That child!
I'm opening a portal. Need some ranged firepower. A shortcut in space. By the eye of Agamotto!
Get that vehicle moving again! We can still reach the world.
Eyes on the menu.
Careful. Strange has opened a rift. I was worried.
I'm doing this my
That
way!
hurts. Help, friend.
I'm good to go.
We're finding our groove.
The moon haunts!
I am ready to run the show! Only 60 seconds left.
Ah, here they are now.
I don't have to be center stage.
Should we fail, the gods will not be kind.
Let us save the great tree.
This happening was El Salvador. My understanding, and I apologize in advance if I'm misunderstanding this, but that's
Approach
my
this site with
understanding
caution.
of how, Uplay, I don't know how to say his name, dealt with this problem.
Down to 30 seconds.
Perhaps a curse.
Snowball. You're halfway there. Keep going. I like the cold.
I feel like myself again.
Sniper. Us against the world. The final 10 seconds.
Seems we are outnumbered.
You can't hide from the... I'm making a comeback. An enchanted object. Interesting.
Fear Magneto!
Well, you can't expect to win them all.
Stop doing it. Just stop. Unless we're like legally obligated to data or something, stop doing it. Yeah, it's rookie numbers. Yeah, trillions of dollars. Yeah, what are we talking about? And I think this is I actually think most people view it as wasteful.
Once a person receives a final removal order, they have to either report their deportation at a later date or wait in detention until then.
At that point, the U.S. government that would involve putting them on a bus to Mexico, but if they're from any other country, from Canada, that means putting them on a plane and flying them to their ultimate destination.
An operation of this scale could require over 6,000
You'll need a
removal flights per
top-notch
year.
team to win
In
this one.
comparison, ICE had around 1,200 removal flights in fiscal year 2023. The average ICE removal flight costs about $17,000 per hour.
No one escapes hell.
Private contractors who provide ICE with planes and pilots raise their prices.
There are other assets, right? ICE has a...
I do think also the government should try to reduce these costs by fining the companies that have been hiring these people. Because, like, really it takes two to tango. And in a lot of cases, the reason why these people exist in the United States
Every mortal is my subject. I rule all.
is because companies and individuals pay
I want your soul!
30 seconds before you attack. Get ready.
People should be
thought I'd find someone with the same taste on this backward planet.
Potatoes up.
What do you got in your trash can? Let's see. Ion turret, photon reaction chain gun, mini black hole.
The battle starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1! Don't forget, securing the mission area is your top priority.
Among Asgardians, Loki has cleverness and Thor courage, but only I the vision to seize the future. Find that soul! Resistance is futile! Find that soul! Time is up! Here's this life! Healing. Why would I need healing?
Watch out! Look!
Here's this life!
The moon haunts you! There's more than one!
Here's this life!
I'll patch you up!
Another soul to join me. Perhaps I should be grateful. Here's this
Double kill!
I'm fucking helpful! I know that all anywhere. Leave them to Khonshu!
Everybody needs hands sometimes.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
I blew up a keyhole!
Here's this life!
Help get that piece. Us against the world!
Hey, team! Enjoy the amplifier!
What is this totem that will calm the king's soul?
Yeah,
Republicans have said that passing a border funding bill will be the top priority.
We are undefeatable!
I know that hunk anywhere.
Ruin, don't excuse me.
I'm doing this my way!
Double kill!
No! Go faster! I want her soul!
Edward to T'Challa, commence!
I actually think he's right, and I think that what he
Time
said
to
isn't
drain.
actually accurate entirely, or it's not telling the full picture. I think that if you
Good thinking, Thor!
Healing. Why would I need healing?
Hostiles approach!
Resistance. Find that soul.
Lead them to Khonshu!
Just embrace the light! You're halfway there! Keep going!
The 10 rounds shall be mine.
Hold still! I've been trying to help!
What is this totem that will find that soul?
The moon haunts you!
Healing. Why would I need healing?
So much cooler than mine.
Find that soul.
Right behind you!
refresh your statue. No, go faster. Here's this life.
I'm not done.
I want your soul.
The job done.
Enemy. Perfect. Hell unleashed! Ruined donks, please me.
That's 3! Get that vehicle moving again!
I want your soul. I want your soul.
Hold still!
You old friends. Let's do this for them.
The moon haunts you!
Vehicle reached the checkpoint. Keep up the momentum.
Find that soul.
Oh, I'm fine. Don't mind me.
We are blue! I'm doing this my way!
I am...
Blaze of
I want your soul.
Life consumes
Hall of Tajalia. Let's roll!
Our foes may be near. Find that soul. I am barely harmed.
That's it! Don't let anything stand in your way.
Here's this life.
Just embrace the light.
An opportunity for combat. Find that
Panther needs us to get the job done.
Behold the god of thunder!
I want the 10 realms shall be mine. I am barely harmed.
It's your big chance!
Find that soul.
Us against the world!
I still need you. Shoot these ox whenever you find them.
Your powers are mine! Hell unleashed! Healing. Why would I need healing?
Another epic victory! Big win!
But it's worse than what we had. I'd have to look at I mean, ban appeals for hamster wheels? Yeah, well, I mean, let's do ban appeals again. There's a golden visa option too. Yeah, the O1 visa. Yeah, if that's what you're referring to. I'm just not 100% sure on that. So yeah, it's a bit of a false line to take on a visa thing. They're talking about issuing visas to the top 4%. They aren't serving staff in a restaurant. Well, so, and that's the thing, right? It's like you're talking about like...
You'll need a top-notch team to win this one.
Maybe all of this is just like all fake news, misinformation.
I'm Luna Snow. Like the moon. We are Cloak and Dagger. We are hope and fear. I'm Luna Snow. Like the moon, I shine in darkness.
Yeah, Janet, exactly right. I don't know whether this is true or not because I just haven't really done enough research for it. But it does go like
달빛의 피어나.
oh, this system is just being used for like, your Einsteins and like your Operation Paperclip guns. I don't think that's
30 seconds before you attack. Get ready.
That's not what's happening. I could be wrong, right? I'm not an expert.
Wow, you look tough.
You look like you belong in high school. What are you?
A famous singer.
I don't listen to music. I punish criminals.
Well, we are in the right place for that. Let's go.
The battle starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I was out there, alone, and I really needed someone to argue with.
Help get that vehicle to its destination.
There they are. Put the Ankh on ice. A nice deep freeze. Octopus alert.
Red dot! Needed that boost.
You're halfway there. Keep going.
The center of the Spider-Verse is set.
Target located.
Almost there. Don't turn back now.
There they are. Need some help.
You never had a chance.
This is like near my house, and so actually no, this is where my dad's house. Yeah, there's like a house there where a lot of the guys, I think some of them,
The Iron Fist awaits your command.
there's probably 12 people that live in that house.
Strong together.
Vehicle reached a checkpoint. Keep up the momentum.
I mean, that's
I should be singing lullabies.
Be careful over here.
Bogey's coming up behind.
War journal.
Grow up. Goodbye, turret. It's okay. Admit it. You need me. Must reach the shrine. Let's get this show on the road.
Step lightly. Might be more onks. I'm good to go. The moon haunts you!
You're halfway there. Keep going.
Say goodnight!
I think it was like 70% Mexican, like 10% white, like 15 or 20% black or something like that. I don't know. And so, yeah, it was a lot different.
Pulse charge!
I'm hurt.
Battlefield ready. Judge!
I am ready to put on the
Executioner!
show. We're finding our groove.
They're on your tail.
Spider Zero, I'm Be strong together.
Almost bowed out.
I don't have to be center stage.
Defeat was your destiny.
Almost there. Don't turn back now.
A nice
By the eye of Agamotto! I'm good to go.
Be strong together.
Ahead, I found them.
Vehicle reached a checkpoint. Keep up the momentum.
I should be singing love. Be your best self.
I'm opening a portal. I'm doing this my way.
This is nothing like the Tokyo I remember.
Sniper, chase him.
But it's amazing. That one hurt. How? You're frozen.
That's it! Don't let anything stand in your way.
There they are. May more than some party crashers. Do I throw like a girl? I don't have to be center stage. Be strong together.
I suck. Watch your whiskers, Tippy Toe. So close! This is your big chance!
It's okay. Admit it. You need me.
The dragon's unleashed.
I just never really.
Yes. Another hit.
Another epic victory! Big win!
In Halo 2, and the clan's name was like, it was like N-word killers or something like that, like the first letters were switched. And my dad sees this, and he's like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, how are you a part of this? This is disgusting. And I'm like, no. You understand? I'm the only clan. Nobody took that shit seriously at all. And yes, no, I'm serious, that's the way it was. Yes, and people would just say this shit. And the reasons, yeah, you don't understand. No, I'm the only white person here. The token white guy. No. I literally was. We would be making calls in Halo 2. And I remember Angel and Joaquin, his older brother, and Bobby would call me white boy. And we'd be playing. And like my dad's like, is that you? I'm like, yeah, that's me.
Pick your hero. Or villain. I'm not judging.
Back then, everybody had the pass, okay? Yeah, let's just say that. You stuck out. Yeah, there's nothing. Absolutely. Anyway, I'll try this out. So apparently a really big patch for this game came out. I don't know exactly what it is. I haven't played Power.
Be wary. No timeline exists where Magneto yields. I will never allow Krakoa to suffer the same fate as Genosha.
Oh god.
30 seconds before you attack. Get ready.
A guy that was in an older grade than me, and I
Well, look at you. Are you a superhero? What can you do? Okay, I'll let you show me. 따스한 하얀 눈으로 널 감싸.
And then he would get home and he would read them, and he'd be so fucking mad.
The battle starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All you need to do is capture the mission area. Got it?
These dreams still hide themselves behind metal masks? The fools.
Enemies. Perfect.
I feel like myself again.
The mission area is yours to capture now.
that you are unwilling to look at anything that is contradictory to your viewpoint. Like, they're what this person's end game is. The person's end game.
See them?
The person's
Right
end
there.
game is they want.
Oh, no, not Jeff. He's the best little.
Insignificant gnats.
I need to.
And my viewpoint is going to be the default. That's what they said. That's exactly what they want to do. They want to deplatform you? Of course they do. Of course. Like, if I were them, I would, well, actually, I wouldn't do that. I would change my opinions to something that was more reasonable. However,
Your attacks are futile.
Really pissed them off.
They've almost got it! The enemy has.
You are under my protection.
Let's try it.
One step closer to saving the world. Put a spring in my step?
Go ahead.
Going to go on its own journey, and during that time, people are going to be
You'll have to keep fighting until we have a winner.
somewhere else. They might look on TikTok or on blogs.
A feast for my crows!
You get a weapon! You get a weapon! You get a web!
This place must be ours.
Control seized!
You are under my protection. We have done well.
Such power!
Do be more careful next
Legions
time.
of hell are beyond counting.
Ah, much better. Your attacks are futile.
Enemies perfect.
Your attacks are futile.
We are undefeatable!
Beware my might. Fear Magneto!
Your day
Go along with all that.
You're mine!
Obviously, well, then why are you worried about people seeing it and it being the default?
You've captured more than half of the mission area. Keep going!
That lots of people can if they're subjected to it long.
Control lost!
On a global basis, on a normal
You'll have to keep fighting until we have a winner.
actually be like
You-
conspiracy and a political
I agree. That's why people are mad at the game. So, the fact is that a lot of people do think that, and I've been outspoken about that. Like, Nathan probably isn't looking at...
Charles dreamed of a safe haven for all mutants. At last, I have made it a reality.
Have any oversight on like my YouTube video? This is like, hey, I want to make a video. Like,
30 seconds before you attack. Get ready!
How strange. I cannot seem to read your thoughts.
My helmet is shielded from telepathic intrusion. One can never be too safe.
So I have learned. This world is full of dangers I could never have imagined.
The battle starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1! All you need to do is capture the mission area. Got it?
따스한 하얀 눈으로 널 감싸
Pierce this life.
wow, what a fucking surprise.
This spot requires attention.
You're mine.
This place
Watch out, they're headed our way!
Hurt. A nice deep freeze.
Ah, much better.
Looks like the mission area is yours to capture now.
We must retreat.
Feel better.
Put a spring in my step?
I wreak battlefield havoc. My power cannot be quelled.
Normal is a norm. Normal
They captured the mission area!
curve. What are we talking about? Normal people are the reason why Trump did win. That's the whole reason.
A feast for my crows!
Born again! You are under my protection. Your attacks are futile.
Second chance is over.
I am at your service.
Some assistance, please. Nothing says I'm right like a call for censorship. Believing that these platforms need to handle commentary people like Asmongold, myself, or anyone else. It is disgusting to hear someone want to put the control of freedom of speech into the hands of publicly traded platforms.
Their team's capture progress has passed the halfway point.
Not myself.
That's exactly true. And so, what's going to be really funny is that
Surely
I don't know opinions about everything.
You get away with it. You get away with it.
Hell unleash!
Insignificant mass.
It's the grand finale!
I feel like myself again.
They've almost got it!
Watch me soar!
Control C!
Betrayed my trust.
Approach this site with caution.
I have transcended.
Your attacks are futile. Much better. Fear Magneto! You cannot hurt me. Maxima beholds the god of thunder!
Attacking from behind. Where?
Person that's talking about these things.
By the Vishanti, strange is here.
It's nothing more than convenient.
I've captured more than half of the mission area. Keep going.
Concerns don't matter, or that the general public quality of their product.
If he's the perfect human, we are undefeatable!
No escape from Take a look.
I suck.
You shall not be harmed.
Karma is
I feel like
this.
myself again.
Increasing hell. Jumping mine.
The enemy area is almost yours!
You are under my protection.
A shield. Many thanks.
I have tagged a foe. Hunt them.
Born again!
It's the grand finale!
You need not fear.
You'll have to keep fighting until we have a winner.
Much better.
I suck.
Your attacks
A
are futile.
feast for my crows. Sonamai Yokurai!
Behold!
This time I
Sonamai Yokurai! Your day ends.
I shall not be removed so easily.
Control lost!
You get away with it. You get away with it. You
Watch
get
me
away.
soar!
You're amazing. I wish I could do what you do.
Your wings.
Control seized! You'll have to keep fighting until we have a winner.
Much better.
A nice deep freeze.
I unleash the Vishanti power.
When I rise, they fall.
That's always been what happens. And they are. It's been confirmed by like 50 different sources that places like Disney, Comcast, and Walmart expect and advertising on Twitter again. It's called pandering. Yeah, exactly. Warner Brothers, yep. Lionsgate Studios is another one. Yep, absolutely. And all these places that like people are using as like a benchmark of moralism, now they're gone.
People living long lives and looking for anything to be able to attach themselves to so they can look in the mirror and think that they've done something constructive today. You know it, I know it. You know what they fail to realize? These videos because they want to be told what to think. They're watching them because they have their own opinions, their own thoughts, and they're looking to have
they want to be told what they already think is right.
Either validated or challenged in a meaningful way. A video like this goes out and it resonates with some people and they like it, and if they like it then it gets viewed and then more people view it and then the cycle
Pick your hero or villain. I'm not judging.
continues. What you fail to realize is that the content is serving the audience. The content creators are serving the audience. The platform is serving the audience, not the other way around. Yep. And that's
Be wary. No timeline exists where Magneto yields.
Different video games that have come out over the last few years, or government, or regular legacy media, or anything like that, is because they
I will do what it takes to protect my people, no matter the price.
These people have made an enemy out of their end user.
30 seconds before you attack. Get ready.
Any platform that makes an enemy out of their end user won't exist.
Here we are, side by side once more, just like the old days.
You mean back when you used children as weapons in your crusade against mankind?
You make me sound like a terrible father when you put it like that.
Then at least we can find...
The battle starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All you need to do is capture the mission area. Got it?
Ancient magics permeate this realm. I could get used to it here.
I saw that game.
We must secure this location. I have located one of our opponents. If you seek our foes, here they are.
The mission area is yours to capture now. The mission area is yours.
You need not fear.
Extra position.
Insignificant gnats. Much better.
Even the All-Father could not have handled the power.
You shall not be harmed.
A shield? We got company. Ah, there you are. No escaping us now.
Your attacks are futile.
You captured more than half of the mission area. Keep going.
You
This
are under my
place is
protection.
curious. Keep an eye here.
It is. They're like, oh yeah, finally.
The damage we could do here is unparalleled.
Oh yeah, now everybody's realizing how good I've actually
Our enemy has been spotted.
And so yeah, that's also what I'm at.
The Punisher is utterly exhausted. Much better. The perfect conduit for your chaos. You cannot hurt me. I shall shall not be removed so easily.
Do new content and do new stuff. And make
Patience. I'll be ready soon
and
enough.
I'm thinking on Sunday we're gonna do that. That's what my plan is on the Lord's Day. Yeah, and post-election ban.
Healing power.
People are looking for authenticity. Well, I mean, after you authenticity and continuity,
Exactly. You have made your father proud.
Armed and dangerous! Rise, my friends!
Rest now, my child. Much better.
Struck down by living cheap.
Control Seas!
You cannot hurt me.
Second chance is over.
Magic and magnetism. Magnificent.
The All-Father himself could not have handled what happened.
I am not the man I used to be. I have found a greater cause.
No, but yeah, we could shut it down.
Be strong together. 30 seconds before you attack. Get ready. The actual Magneto. Wow.
Should I know who you are?
No, but you should know magnetism doesn't work on super cool materials. Guess what I can do?
Be impertinent, it seems.
The battle starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All you need to do is capture the mission area. Got it?
I was out there, alone. And I really needed someone to argue with.
Hit this place hard and watch the show.
We got company.
Two primal forces merged as one.
Looks like the mission area is yours to capture now.
Exactly as I expected.
The mission area is yours.
Don't mess with the amazing Spider-Man!
Magneto! You shall not be harmed.
Extra protection.
Insignificant gnats.
Judge! Jury! Executioner!
Control lost.
You cannot hurt me. Insolent fool. My strength returns. My power cannot be quelled.
Junior tutorial on how to just
A feast for my the grand finale.
Another soul to join my legions.
Control Seas. See that?
As expected. Find that soul.
You need not fear.
You've captured more than half of the mission area. Keep going.
I want a soul.
Under their sway. My power cannot be quelled.
Don't mess with the amazing Spider-Man!
It's yours. I
A
like the
battle
cold.
awaits us. You are under my protection.
I can be reckless now.
Two primal forces merged as one. I am Groot!
You'll have to keep fighting until we have a winner.
Magneto!
They got behind you! This is real firepower!
That was some bad.
Mutants always rise again. You are under my protection. Magic and magnetism. Magnificent.
Ooh, that was. Talk about his view.
Another epic victory! Big win!
Should I get from my last perception
He's technological ascendancy, contact, intellect, and wonders and master.
Sound Colossus.
What do I have against Colossus? Yeah, I have.
I can take this.
Right, I got Colossus. And I need to decide what to do.
We'll take galactic weapons.
I could do the
Hell unleashed! When I rise, they fall. Another soul to join my legions. Here's this life. As expected. Find that soul.
Tell me about it. What happened? We need.
Oh,
I hate you guys so much.
come on, stop, Johnson.
You only knew. That's why Mr. Penis in Denmark.
Mr. Penis?
Yeah, it's a kid's entertainer.
Yeah, the kids said you about a guy with a very large penis.
Very large.
Yes.
Very long.
Very long. It does special things. It's a TV show. Don't ask. It's Denmark.
It does special things.
Yeah, don't ask.
Yeah, like you can use it as tools.
is getting hammered in today's sell-off. CNBC's Magnificent 7 index dropping more than 1%. Well, there's a new emerging threat to mega caps' massive AI race. Deirdre Bosa digs into that for today's Tech Check. Hey, Dee.
Hey, good morning, Leslie. So here's a name
The
that
right
our
heroes
audience
could
may
make
want to
all
write
the
down.
difference.
DeepSeek. This is a new, free, open source AI model that beats the latest OpenAI and Meta models on key benchmarks, and it was made for a fraction of the cost. Now, it was trained by a Chinese research lab that used NVIDIA H800s. That's a lower performance version of the H100 chips that are cheaper,
No
more
timeline
available,
exists
and
where
tailored for
Magneto
restricted
yields.
markets like China. Now, I've been testing it out this morning, and on the surface, it looks and acts just like OpenAI's ChatGPT. And in fact, it actually thinks it is ChatGPT. When I asked what model are you, it answered, I'm an AI language model created by OpenAI, specifically based on the GPT-4 architecture, suggesting that it was trained on ChatGPT output, which, leaving aside terms of service violations, it means that entirely new state-of-the-art models can be built on what is already out there. In other words, OpenAI's
My
moat
helmet is
may be
shielded from
shrinking.
telepathic
If a model like
intrusion,
DeepSeek can
one can
emerge
never
with
be too
competitive
safe.
performance, minimal cost, and reliance on existing outputs, it signals a rapidly shrinking barrier to entry in AI development, challenging the current dominance of industry leaders like OpenAI. Based on technical tests designed to measure its coding performance, DeepSeek outperformed other models, including Meta's Llama 3.1 and OpenAI's GPT-4. By the way, those are the latest state-of-the-art models. And that led Andrej Karpathy, a founding team member at OpenAI, to post DeepSeek making it look easy today with an open frontier grade LLM trained on a dozen of a budget. Now, to put that budget in perspective, it's pretty mind-boggling. It costs just $5.5 million, to invest hundreds of millions of dollars to Meta's latest Llama model and billions of dollars to GPT and Gemini models. This all raises an important question for investors. As the AI trade evolves, the technological progress falls, is training frontier models even a good investment anymore? Microsoft, Google, Amazon, Meta, OpenAI, they have made that a core mission over the last few years as they continue to spend billions building out AI infrastructure to train ever bigger and better models. DeepSeek did something highly competitive. In just 2 months, dumbed down GPUs for less than $6 million. And type of not forget this fact, it comes from China, from Sam Altman and others, say poses the greatest competitive threat to the dominance of US-led AI. Now, this model is going to be tested in the weeks and months ahead, but the implications, guys, of this is just massive and will ripple through the edge.
Wow. Dude, I mean, we were talking this morning about, obviously, the CapEx.
Maximum!
And that
My
we're
power
expecting to be
cannot
spent
be
in
quelled.
2025 on exactly what you're talking about. What is the core competency then here of the Chinese? Obviously, they're not using the latest chips. They don't have the computing power. They're not even spending on that. So what are they doing well?
And yet, I know, right? And yet, you're right. They don't have all those things. They don't even have access to H100s. And yet, they have built a model that competes with the ones from OpenAI and Meta. I mean, they've done this out of necessity using H800s, which, like I said, is a dumbed-down version of the H100. They've been able to do this, which essentially just means that these models are becoming more commoditized than ever. As that progress, technological progress is all, it's all about what can you build with the existing frontier models. And this is a perfect example of what a company that doesn't have to have built all the architecture, doesn't need those high-end GPUs, is able to do simply by taking existing outputs. It also raises questions between open and closed source models, right? They were able to do so. This is an open source model. That was always the fear here with Meta's Llama, is that it gives the Chinese an advantage. It turns out the Chinese didn't even need Llama. They just needed stuff that was already put out there by ChatGPT and others.
Now, there's still a chance to stop that. This is going to be a key story in 2025 and the geopolitical ramifications
See that?
The market is seeing that the economy is not weak.
I would argue we've had a broadening out.
I think markets are still really euphoric.
You need
Our enemy has been
that to really enter you because we're going to have a lot of volatility.
We're actually going to get off to a bit of a sloppy January.
This is Bloomberg Surveillance with Jonathan Jarrett.
By the
eye of Agamotto!
Good morning to our audiences
coverage worldwide. This is Bloomberg Surveillance. John Farrell, Lisa Abramowitz, and Anne-Marie Horton have the day off. I'm Roman Bostic here at Bloomberg World Headquarters in New York. My co-pilot for the day, 25,000 kilometers away, Kuta in London, England. Happy to see you here on this Monday morning here in New York City.
Born again! It's good to see you. I stayed late just to anchor with you, Roman. Just for you.
All right, well, we do have a lot to talk about. Let's get a lay of the land here. Financial markets worldwide right now on the back foot. We're seeing a slight dip today in stocks in Asia, in Europe, and S&P futures right now pointing to a lower open here in the U.S. You are seeing a bit of a bid in the treasuries. That's pushing yields lower. The dollar relatively unchanged here on the day. Energy commodities also a little change. A bit of trepidation here on the penultimate day of the year. Coming up, Max Kettner of HSBC. He's going to be talking to us about he sees a host of positive catalysts heading into 2025. We're also going to hear from Terry Haynes a little bit later over at Energy Policy on the life and legacy of President Jimmy Carter. And a discussion here about the outlook for investing in emerging markets, specifically in Africa. Runa Alam over at Development Partners is going to be joining us in just a bit. Not a huge stories are crossing the wires this morning, but obviously some focus today on what's going on in Washington as well as what's going on in Korea with that airplane crash. Boeing shares right now here in the U.S. moving lower. But we begin this hour with a broader look at futures here in the U.S., which are pointing to a lower open. Investors turning a little bit of risk before we get to the year end. But no matter which way you cut it, this has been a phenomenal year. A year that was largely driven by momentum, stocks as strategy. But so far right now is sitting on a record gain of 31%. But those gains have slowed significantly over the past few weeks, and a lot of questions as to whether the momentum of 2024 will be the momentum of 2025. Max Kettner over at HSBC joining the big program right now. And Max, we start off here with that big question, the parlay game right now, as to how much momentum is there into 2025.
By the eye of Agamotto!
I think there is still quite a bit of momentum left, because at the end of the day, the economy is still doing pretty okay, and we start 2025 actually with a pretty similar setup compared to the last 2 years. Remember the last year, particularly in the really last fourth quarter, we would have had around about sort of 1.5% GDP growth expectations for the US. That isn't really changing in the first half of next year. We're still looking at sort of 1.7, 1.8. The consensus is still convinced that the growth rate that we've been having for 2 years in a row, literally for 8 quarters in a row. So it's almost double the potential growth rates that we had, that they are only temporary, and then we're actually going to go lower than we've been in the last couple of quarters. And on the earnings side, it's a similar thing. When we look at Q4 earnings expectations, just in the upcoming reporting season that starts in no more than 3 weeks, we again see earnings expectations pretty much flat quarter over quarter. And actually, if we exclude take from that, the consensus is saying earnings are going to drop quarter over quarter. So with such low expectations, with such an easy bar to beat, I think there's quite a lot of momentum still to be had, particularly in the first half.
Will that be broad-based momentum, Max, or is this going to be a repeat of what we saw at the start of this year, where it was pretty much just a small cohort of large-cap stocks leading that charge?
Yeah, I don't think so. I think it is going to be a bit broader, but I don't think it is a question of, are we going to buy the Max 7, are we going to buy tech, or the other stuff. I think it's more a question of, we're going to buy the Max 7 still, and some of the other bits. So I do think some of the industrials, but also some healthcare, for example, banks look really good at this point in time. In some of the defensive, when we look at utilities, how well they've actually held up in light of this increase in yield. That AI story and the back. I think that actually there's a lot of sectors that really can support a bit of broadening out. I don't think it's a story of, okay, ditch the Max 7, ditch tech completely, and the rest is going to take over. I think it's a story of the Max 7 and tech and some of the other
switch
stuff.
things up, including which
Max,
side you're
how
on.
much of the dollar strength that we're expecting in 2025 gets in the way of the strength, not only in the Max 7, but in the broader index? Is the currency the Achilles heel of the S&P 500?
I don't think it's the currency, and in fact, when we look at some of our indicators right now, when we look at momentum signals, typical sort of CTA and momentum player signals, how long or how short they are the dollar, we are getting to a very, very stretched territory of how long those momentum players are on the top.
Round two,
Sure whether that is
fought for
going to be really a one straight line up yet again. We kind of know, we all know about this growth divergence between the US in the next couple of months. Perhaps a little bit of relief, and on top of that, I think the Achilles heel of what we've been saying, I don't think it's currency. I think it's much more on the yield and on the rate side of things. So we've been saying, look, while we are constructive for the first half of next year, and while of course a lot of focus is on the politics and what's going to come first in terms of the implementation of what comes first at all, right? Is it going to be tariffs? Is it going to be tax cuts and so on and so on? I think the much bigger risk, and in fact the biggest risk to our constructive view, is if yields push higher, particularly the long end, and particularly like we've seen them the last.
Don't get that vehicle to its destination.
If we don't see real yields pushing higher inflation, both would actually be positive for equities, would be positive for credit spread. But if it's just turning it, just an add-on in terms of costs, that really would be the biggest risk by far and the biggest Achilles heel for our risk on for the first 6 months.
So Max, you talk about that rate story, but what is the line in the sand? I'm looking at 460 on the 10-year this morning. Is it 5%? Is it above that? What's the line in the sand that spooks equities?
Yeah, actually, we've been looking at it for the last 2-3 months, and we've looked at what we call the danger zone, which might sound a bit cryptic, but in fact, what we looked at is where is the level of yield, the level of long-run rate expectations, where equities and credit spreads and high beta effect, where they really start to suffer. And in fact, we've been pushing through that. It is close to 4.5%, so we are, in fact, at the moment, pushing a little bit through that. So the problem, I think, for the start of January is going to be, if we're all going to start in January and realize, oh, this is not going to look good. And in fact, you know, perhaps issuance needs to be more on the longer end, and the next quarterly refunding announcement is going to show a little bit more issuance on the long end. If all those stories come true and we push towards 5%, so in fact, if we stay sustainably above 4.5%, that really puts a dent on risk assets. So far, it's not been the case.
All right, Max, a big picture question here, and this involves the interplay between the two largest economies. I think we have a pretty clear picture of maybe what U.S. economic policy, and for that matter, U.S. economic growth will look like. How much of a factor will China be in the global economic story? Are you anticipating at all the rebound, not only in the economy, but in the financial markets over there as well?
I think there is a rebound in store, particularly the consumption side of things. So I do think when we look at the last 2-3 months, there's been certainly a little bit more of a consumption boost, and particularly boost in terms of the available or savings for the consumer, really. And that should be allowing really consumption, in particular in China, to be a little bit better. It's not something I think that will help Europe.
By the eye of Agamotto!
People would put on things like long European autos or long European. I don't think these kind of trades will work. I think it's much more story around China and Chinese equities in particular.
All right, we have to leave it there. Max, always great for conversation. Max Kepner, Chief Multi-Asset Strategist over at HSBC, kicking us off here on Bloomberg Surveillance on this Monday morning in the U.S. S&P futures pointing to a third straight day of declines. Let's get you an update, though, on some of the stories outside the world of finance. Our Bloomberg Brief.
Remain infighting in Congress this month, and Republicans push back on GOP House Speaker Mike Johnson. Party hardliners are committed to re-electing Johnson as Speaker after he backed a temporary spending deal that didn't include President-elect Trump's initial demand for lifting the U.S. debt ceiling. But others in the party are pushing back on calls to remove Johnson. President-elect Trump hasn't taken a public stand on Speaker Johnson's future. The House speakership vote is scheduled for January 3rd. Now, Bloomberg is reporting on how Trump's foray into politics has changed the way some countries are looking at his Starlink internet business. South Africa's president and Musk have been in contact to discuss ways for the government to change the rules to allow Starlink's high-speed internet to operate legally there. Those talks, according to their sources, included discussing investment by Tesla in battery production in South Africa. Musk's new role makes it harder for some governments to resist Starlink, which this year added 20 new operating countries and now serves more than 4 million people in 100-plus countries. And it was a race for #1 at the Christmas box office, with Disney's Mufasa narrowly beating out Paramount's Sonic 3. The Lion King prequel claimed #1 over the 5-day holiday stretch with $63.9 million, while Sonic 2 pulled in $59.8 million. Rounding out the top 3 was the anticipated horror remake Nosferatu. $21.1 million remain. That's your Bloomberg Brief.
Yeah, and coming back here, we are going to take a look at the life and legacy of President Jimmy Carter. The condolences still pouring in. Xi Jinping just moments ago sending his condolences to current President Joe Biden about the passing of our 39th president. The life and legacy of Jimmy Carter coming up after the break.
Chin up.
By the eye of Agamotto!
Behind you.
Must resist. Your attacks are futile. You need not fear.
Need assistance. Gather around.
Under surveillance this morning, the life and legacy of former U.S. President Jimmy Carter.
President Carter came into office in the wake of Watergate and Vietnam with a commitment to right the ship of state.
President Carter brought back to government honesty, integrity, and faith in government. He ran as a candidate on a government as good as people, and he truly did deliver.
I think President Carter, in many ways, was ahead of his time in terms of his emphasis, for example, on human rights, in terms of his thinking about alternative energy, in terms of his role in the Middle East peace agreements that he put together. And we all know that his presidency, which has been such a long one, has been graced by remarkable contributions to humanity by former President Carter. I think right now, he is seen very favorably. I'm really happy to see that because he's a very special man.
One of President Carter's biggest challenges was energy in the face of the second Arab oil embargo.
Well, he was president during a very challenging time. As you recall, there was the oil embargo, which drove oil prices up dramatically. That became a catalyst for the highest inflation that we had had really since the war, and probably even before that. And so he had to take some very tough fiscal measures. He did appoint Paul Volcker, who, by very much tightening monetary policy, caused a recession, which certainly was not an easy thing for President Carter to run through.
He was the first person about energy and how we had to start looking at renewable energy plans and how our country could invest and incentivize in that area. And I don't know if you remember, but he had a solar panel on the White House, which when he left, President Reagan took down. But he also had fuel mileage standards and, really realized, I think, way before anybody else, that we had to start thinking about what climate and what it was doing to our planet.
But as influential as Jimmy Carter was as president, he will be remembered every bit as much for what he did after he left office.
The thing, though, that I think is absolutely most notable about President Carter is we can all debate the relative merits of any individual president's term, but I think it's inarguable that President Carter is the single most impressive, most successful, and most to be admired ex-president in the history of our nation. This is a man who took the responsibilities of being a visible public figure incredibly seriously and was a role model to all of us.
They'll be coming in 30 seconds. Stay strong.
And current President Joe Biden designating January 9th as a national day of mourning for former President Jimmy Carter. Carter died at his home in Georgia yesterday. at the age of 100. Terry Haynes of Pangea Policy joins us right now to help reflect on the life and legacy of Jimmy Carter. A lot of important dates there. We talk about January 9th being a day of reflection and remembrance. Of course, his birthday, October 1st, back in 1924. His death, of course, on December 29th. But I want to start, Terry, with July 15th, 1979. That was the day that Carter gave that famous malaise speech. And just a few weeks after that, appointed Paul Volcker as chairman of the Fed to fight what at the time was just an almost unprecedented level of inflation that this nation was facing. A level of inflation that for years he didn't necessarily get credit for taming.
Oh, I think that's absolutely true, Romaine. Good morning to you and Pretty. I think it's absolutely true. You know, I said to Marcus this morning, I think they should all thank and remember Carter for the crucial role that he played in breaking the back of inflation over several years. I mean, that was, as well as not only appointing Paul Volcker, but defending Volcker personally and Fed independence through his term, something which President Reagan also did at no small cost. That set the stage for not only the great markets runs that we've seen even through great geopolitical crises, health crises like COVID, a bunch of other things, but also set the stage in helping the United States win the Cold War by boosting the relative economic strength of the United States against the Soviet Union at that crucial time.
It's kind of interesting to read some of the biographies of Carter, particularly some of the ones that have come out over the last decade or so that have really painted him, I think, in a much better light than maybe how the country viewed him back in 1980 when he lost to Ronald Reagan. And I am curious that if it weren't for the hostage crisis of Iran, the oil embargo, and of course the level of inflation, is it possible that he might have been reelected in 1980?
Oh, sure, absolutely. The President Reagan's run, the then candidate Reagan's run began fairly late, and Carter was absolutely bedeviled by a lot of these policies. I met President Carter, but I was privileged to know a lot of the people that were his senior aides, most prominently, including Jody Powell, who I know decently well, and so got a window into a lot of these things. And Carter's strengths turned out also to be some of his weaknesses. The mulishness and commitment that he showed to Volcker, which made such a huge difference to the country, even today, was also in large part what helped him in his own party that led to a primary challenge for Ted Kennedy. He had a great fight under Reagan that ultimately swept him out of office. And he also was guilty of probably too much candor in talking to the American public about the ways that you bring up that led to the impression that he was either out of control or unable to respond effectively.
So Terry, that's a lot of the domestic story. Let's talk about his record internationally, his foreign policy record, the Camp David Accord, his role in the Panama Canal, even boycotting the Moscow Olympics as well. These are all flashpoints that are just as relevant today as they were during his tenure as president. What does Donald Trump take away from that? Are there lessons to be learned?
Absolutely. And the first lesson to be learned, I think, is that the presidency has limits. Every victor in a presidential campaign and people around him tend to be a little triumphalist. They all want to talk about mandates and the like. Clinton came in 92 talking about a mandate when he had basically won 43% of the vote. There's always a lot of salesmanship that are involved in it, but the lesson you can learn from Carter's presidency and a lot of presidencies, is that the presidency has limits, and it's wise to remember those even while you're trying to maximize your political benefit in the moment. What Carter's presidency showed really was that he found it very difficult to bring his own throughout the party along with him. Congress is a co-equal branch of government and acts like it. and he didn't. And Carter's also, while president, did not bring the public along with him as much as tried to.
Your powers are mine! By the eye of Agamotto!
So it's a balancing act with presidents, and any president after Carter was wise to remember that.
Terry, we talked a lot about energy security, and we certainly did in the context of the oil embargo during Carter's time as president, but we're also talking about it now in terms of tariffs, in terms of what's going on in the Middle East, and the idea that the United States is the largest energy exporter in the world at the moment. What does that mean for the here and now? When we're talking about modern politics, is that a good thing, or is that a bad thing for the United States?
On balance, I think it's a good thing. I mean, we have strengths and weaknesses geopolitically. But one of our geopolitical strengths is energy and energy export. And we are in a situation now where we're in the most difficult geopolitical risk situation in more than 50 years. So it behooves the United States, no matter who's to make sure that it uses its advantages wisely, but that it maximizes those advantages as well. Certainly energy is one of those, and I frankly look to the next administration and President Trump personally to try to do everything possible to maximize that.
What is his relationship going to be like with world leaders, particularly in contrast to what we saw with Carter back in the 70s? I know they're two completely different people with two completely different agendas here, but are there any parallels that we know?
Oh, absolutely. I think Carter had a very fractious relationship with many countries in the world. His China policy was very successful, but on the other hand, even coming up with the Camp David Accords required that kind of hard-headedness, that mulishness that I lauded him for earlier on monetary and economic policy, and he succeeded in that. He did not shrink from confronting world leaders in a way that he tried to push the benefits of peace and the United States hegemony, frankly. It's a different world. But Trump has that same broadly kind of push-pull relationship and fractiousness. It's going to be, the thing I would just say to President Trump is, a spoonful of sugar will really help a little bit. He's been largely succeeding in pushing allies towards greater defense spending and a variety of other things. He can continue that, but it's going to take a little more. It's going to take some finesse and show the ability to at least understand that. That's good.
Charming.
Terry, appreciate you coming on. Obviously, we had a totally different conversation planned for you, but really great to get your insights on the life and legacy of Jimmy Carter. Terry Haynesville of Pangea Policy and Pretty. We talked a lot here about what Jimmy Carter did while he was in office. We were remiss in not pointing out that some of his biggest accomplishments came after he came out of office. Of course, all this started his work with Habitat for Humanity and some of his other charitable endeavors.
Yeah, winning the Nobel Peace Prize in 2002 for some of his efforts of disease eradication in impoverished parts of the world is certainly earning them quite a bit of not just condolences as the former president, but as truly a game changer for a lot of the kind of other ills that are plaguing the world.
Yeah, absolutely. Of course, Joe Biden saying there will be a National Day of Remembrance on January 9th. There will be a state funeral as well as a private service that the family has planned down in Williams, Georgia. Jimmy Carter. Coming up here on the program, we are going to take a closer look at what's going on in financial markets, and we're going to take a look back here at some of the key interviews that we've had over the year with some of the biggest players on Wall Street. We're going to hear from Citadel CEO Kenny Represents Don Rich. Just a few weeks ago, we definitely want to hear what he had to say about the future of financial markets and, for that matter, the future of politics. S&P futures still pointing to a lower open here on this Monday afternoon in New York City. And to our audience worldwide, this is Bloomberg Surveillance.
You'll have to keep fighting until we have a winner. I see a
Welcome back to Bloomberg Surveillance. Domain Boston alongside Katie Beaver joining today for John Farrell and company. A quick check of where we stand in U.S. futures. 22 or lower open, potentially a third straight day of declines for the S&P 500 and what is still going to be a phenomenal year here on this penultimate trading day of the year. NASDAQ futures slightly lower as well. Russell futures getting a small bid, and a small bid also coming into treasuries as well, seeing a slight decline in yields, erasing a lot of the gains, the price gains that we had on a year-to-date basis for U.S. government bonds. Keep an eye on German bonds, though. We are seeing some movement there on the back of that Spanish inflation report. And then we take a look at the dollar. The dollar relatively unchanged here on the day. But again, you take a look at that chart and it really doesn't tell the whole story. The dollar versus a basket of its peers up 7%. The powers of my judge, jury, one of the biggest decliners in the pre-market session. One of your biggest, the gainers. Meanwhile, we refocus here on what's going on in politics. President-elect Donald Trump facing a bit of a rift among his Silicon Valley backers over immigration. Debates ramping up over the future of H-1B visas. Ken Griffin says U.S. immigration reform is one of his biggest concerns. The CEO of Citadel sat down with Sonali Bassett at the Economic Club of New York just last month. Here's what he had to say.
Immigration is an area that the Trump administration is going to be very focused on. And it's an area of real concern to me because much of our nation's success is rooted in our ability to attract the best and brightest from around the world to work for American firms and to start American firms. Well, roughly half of all the firms in the Silicon Valley that have been launched in the last 20 years are led by immigrants. And I would say roughly the majority of Citadel's leadership team is immigrants. These are people that have come to this country, they've left everything behind because they believe in the American dream and the opportunity that our country represents. And yet, I think everyone agrees that the chaos on the southern border represents a broken immigration policy, where there's very little control over who comes into our country, whether they come here to pursue the American dream or for more nefarious reasons. I think there's widespread agreement across our country that we need.
Today, Bitcoin slides closer to $90,000 with just 2 days left in the year. And Tether co-founder William Quigley reacts to the pace of stablecoin adoption in 2024. Welcome to CNBC's Crypto World. I'm Jordan Smith. Crypto markets are in the red as we enter the final 2 days of 2024. By noon Eastern, Bitcoin fell about 2%, just shy of $92,000. Ether lost 0.5% and was trading at $33.33, while XRP dropped 6.5% to
What a shocker that the people who see everything through the lens of race and sex see their election loss as a result of racism and sexism. Yes, if only we weren't so irredeemably unenlightened, we would have elected a black president by now. It's just the facts. Trump won all the swings, all 7. I mean, ran the table. Trump won so big. Today he called the Secretary of State in Georgia, and he asked him to lose them 11,000
decades of experience in comedy and television, Maher has built a
reputation for challenging
conventional political narratives, often targeting both the left and the right. In a recent episode, Maher turned his sights on The View and MSNBC, accusing them of
30 seconds before you attack. Get
and
ready.
Spreading misinformation under the guise of progressive ideals.
Asked if racism is built into our society. White progressives agree with that at higher levels than black and Hispanic people. Talk about doubling down on what got you in the first place. Even the one concession I've heard a few people on the losing side offer that
the battle starts in 5,
stop saying that
4,
Trump voters are stupid.
3,
comes
2,
with a kind of unspoken
1.
parentheses.
All you need to do is capture the mission area. Got it?
The discussion began with a common refrain from progressive commentators, the belief that election losses stem from widespread racism and sexism. Maher highlighted how this narrative dominated segments on The View and MSNBC, where hosts seemed unable to accept alternative explanations for voter behavior. He referenced a Wall Street Journal article suggesting that Americans increasingly identify by economic class.
Looks like the mission area is yours to capture now.
This idea directly
I am better capture the mission area!
which often frames political outcomes as products of systemic oppression.
People can't afford to indulge rich white people's needs to endlessly flagellate themselves. They just want prices to go down and good jobs and the food we call them.
Well, if he's right, then why do people vote for the former prosecutor?
That's the most I need. Sorry, soldier.
Rather than
I may
considering the role of
return from my
economic
own
concerns,
realm.
the View hosts clung to a familiar trope, attributing losses to deep-seated bigotry. Maher pointed out the irony of this thinking, reminding viewers that America has already proven twice. However, such historical seem conveniently ignored.
The god of thunder!
Country as irredeemably racist and sexist.
Again, I got my popcorn. I don't know why people do what they do. I see all these reasons, and so, okay. Time will tell. But what do y'all?
I just, I know that as a country, it's very difficult for people to believe that racism and misogyny, they're just alive and well.
Message to the losers. Losers, look in the mirror. No? Sorry.
I'm very hard.
Losers, look in the mirror, okay?
Addressing the disconnect between progressive elites and everyday Americans. He criticized commentators like Sonny Poston for suggesting that racism and misogyny remain dominant forces in American society. While acknowledging the existence of these issues, Maher argued that economic struggles and practical concerns, such as inflation, job security, and public
You'll have to
safety,
keep fighting until we have a
play
winner.
more significant role in shaping the
Why would I need you?
They also got their vote.
This is real firepower!
Hold still.
Behold the god of thunder!
voting patterns. Sonny Poston argued that voters with college degrees are more likely to align with progressive candidates, implying that higher education equates to greater intelligence or moral superiority. Maher dismantled this claim,
My realm is the
calling
great
it an elitist
river,
assumption
into
that
which
ignores
no
the diverse
one
motivations
escapes
behind
hell.
people's choices.
Yeah, I got bad news for you. They don't have a monopoly on stupid. You wear Queers for Palestine t-shirts.
30 seconds before you attack.
And
Get
masks 2 years after the pandemic ended. And you can't
No
define
one escapes
woman.
hell.
I mean, person
Oh, I did.
menstruates.
Several times.
You're the
Lovely
teachers'
torture
union
machines.
education party, and you've turned schools and colleges into a joke.
Many Americans without college degrees prioritize practical solutions over ideological purity. They care about lowering costs,
The battle starts
improving
in
job
5,
opportunities,
4,
and ensuring safe
3,
neighborhoods.
2,
Dismissing their
1.
votes as less valid or less
All you need to
important
do is
only
capture the
deepens
mission area.
divide between
Got it?
progressive elites and working class voters.
You love to speak truth to power, and we always should, but you have completely lost the ability to speak truth to bullshit. The Democratic polling firm Blueprint told Democrats months ago that black voters, aka their supposedly liberal base, were more likely to find the president too liberal than too conservative.
Well, I had a different question.
Oh, I'm fine. Don't mind me.
Woke is what was sort of ruining everything, and I know that you were...
That's why Trump can get reelected.
That's why Trump can get reelected. So, just the term woke is really, in my view, co-opted by the right, weaponizing the side.
Maher also critiqued the Facebook's behavior during their discussions. He noted how Costin frequently interrupts and talks over conservative voices that elicit their
Your powers are mine!
This
Hell unleashed!
circles where free speech
Feels like living.
until dissenting opinions emerge.
Don't tell me the left has
Here's this hell
Bring on the chaos.
A feast for my crows!
They're the bigger threat. But don't tell me that the left hasn't changed. I mean, I'm old enough to remember when it was the conservatives who hated the Jews.
Furthermore, Maher criticized the host's performative outrage. While they claim to champion marginalized communities, their actions often betray a lack of genuine understanding or empathy for the struggles faced by those outside their privileged bubbles.
I always
For
return.
instance, when discussing the Latino shift toward Trump, they failed to acknowledge the real concerns driving this change, instead dismissing it as a failure of education or enlightenment.
I mean, you know, if I had any doubt that I was right about the change that's happened in the left,
This is real firepower!
protest for a terrorist organization like Hamas.
I want your soul!
Behold the god of thunder!
Accusing the network of pushing sensationalized narratives aligned with its ideology. He argued that this approach not only misinforms people, but also fuels polarization. For example, MSNBC's coverage often focuses on extreme interpretations of events, painting Republicans as uniformly racist or misogynistic. This oversimplification ignores the nuanced realities of American politics and
Their team's
alienates
capture
potential
progress has
allies who
passed the
might share
halfway
common
point.
goals.
Well, thanks so much. How long have we been doing this? No, no, seriously, what's it been?
I don't know. Well, you were on politically incorrect, right? That was the 90s. When you were in Congress,
This is like Florida, huh? Exactly. First show I was on, this guy stands up and comes out and goes, "You're a racist."
who was it?
And he was funny. But he knew.
I feel like myself again.
Well, he's a comedian. Nice from the South. He's a comedian. Now, let's do something. You stood up for him.
Well, that is a fundamental problem we've had.
I doubt any reconciliation of
With the detrimental instinct of viewing everything through the lens of racism. These factors undoubtedly play a role in society. Maher cited polling data showing that
Your powers are mine!
Behold the god of thunder!
this disparity suggests that progressive narratives more than expected insignificant mass individuals rather than the lived
Control loss!
We also found that voters didn't just want Harris to distance herself from Biden.
You'll have to keep fighting until we have a winner.
systemic oppression, but on social issues that affect their communities. They want affordable groceries, reliable public services, not endless debates about
I
privilege or
shall not be
representation.
removed so
By
easily.
ignoring these priorities, progressive legislators risk alienating the very people they claim to represent. The Latino shift toward Trump in border districts was a particularly striking example of how progressive narratives can backfire. For years, residents of these communities have sounded the alarm about the challenges posed by illegal
Our enemy has been
from
spotted.
strained resources to rising crime rates. However, their concerns were largely dismissed or ignored by Democratic leaders and media outlets.
A bunch of privileged mean girls.
This is real firepower!
See their election loss as a result of
Just as always,
pragmatic choice,
rebirth
even if they
is a
didn't agree
mutant's
with all the
greatest
policies.
gift.
Rather than grappling with this reality, progressive commentators framed these voters as misguided or complicit in their oppression. This refusal to engage with dissenting perspectives only deepens divisions and fuels resentment. Maher concluded his critique by warning about the
Well,
dangers
you
of
can't expect to win them all.
spread of misinformation under the guise of progressivism. While the left often accuses the right of distorting facts, Maher argued that progressives are equally guilty of this behavior. From exaggerated claims about voter suppression to misleading narratives about systemic racism, these distortions undermine trust in the media and fuel cynicism among the public.
Sexism? Hillary got 3 million more votes than Trump, which in a normal country would be called a victory. It wasn't... It wasn't 21st century sexism that prevented a woman from being president. It was the Electoral College. Democrats run for office as if the voters don't live here, as if they don't go to the grocery store and Starbucks and the office, but they do. They live here.
If progressives hope to regain the trust of disillusioned voters, they must confront these issues head-on. This means prioritizing honesty over ideology, engaging with diverse perspectives, and addressing the practical concerns of everyday Americans. Bill Maher's takedown of The View and MSNBC highlights the growing frustration with the progressive establishment's refusal to acknowledge its flaws. By clinging to divisive narratives and dismissing dissenting voices,
The right heroes could
these
make
outlets
all the
risk
difference.
alienating the very people they seek to represent.
They just want prices to go down and good jobs and the police when you call them. Black people, they're just like us.
What kind of leaders do you think voters truly need in today's
Be
rapidly
wary.
changing political
No
landscape?
timeline exists
Are
where
performative
Magneto
outrage and empty
yields.
platitudes holding us back from real solutions? And do you believe progressives can rise to meet this challenge? Share your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe so we can have more honest
We
conversations
can no longer
about the
hide
issues
from
that
the
matter
dangers
most.
that lie beyond our shores.
Okay, and finally, new rule. Someone must
We'll be
tell the
coming in 30
usual
seconds.
suspects
Stay
on
strong.
Oh no. Oh no. The panel that you know.
Always imagine this, brother.
These are like
Battling
therapy
side by
support
side
groups
with
now.
the fate of the realms at
Every
stake.
time I see a clip from these people,
What if we
they're therapy support groups.
So most are left. The saying is, when you're in a hole, stop digging, not keep digging.
The battle starts in 5,
Talk
4,
about doubling
3,
down on what got
2,
you fucked in the first
1.
place.
Oh.
Even the ones
You have to stop them from securing the mission area.
I'm opening a portal. That liberals should stop saying without voting stupid. These are the kind of unspoken parentheses.
Well, we know that they're stupid, but if you tell them that, they'll get mad because they're stupid.
No, they are stupid. Yeah, I got bad news. They don't have a monopoly on stupid. You live really high.
That's literally what I see. That's great.
For Palestine t-shirts.
You cannot hurt me.
And masks 2 years after the pandemic ended. And you can't define woman. I mean,
Approach this side,
Biden
precaution.
official refuses to define woman during
Much better.
I think this has done more damage to the Democrats. I do. I know it sounds crazy, but it's something that everybody can relate to and understand. And because of that, I think that's what makes them so frustrated and mad.
You're the teachers union education party and you've turned schools and colleges into a joke. You just lost the crazy contest to school.
You cannot hurt me.
That's a crazy photo.
I feel like myself again.
Truth to power, and we always should, but we have completely lost the ability
You cannot hurt me.
The Democratic polling They also have the voters who just want
Fall back to your domain.
They want to distance themselves from what they believe the entire Democratic
I shall
Party has
not be
become.
removed so
He's
easily.
right. Yeah, he's totally right.
Friends, gather
Portlandia
around.
sketch.
I am Asgard's might!
By the way, this
Get
show
in there.
is so fucking good. I mean, and Austin is basically right. I mean, we, like all this things happen in Portlandia.
A bunch of privileged
Headshot.
about privilege.
I shall not be removed so easily.
What a shocker
You need to
that the
stop
people
that
who see
vehicle in its
everything through the
tracks.
lens of race and sex see their election loss as a result of racism and
Help,
sexism.
friends.
Yes, if only we weren't so
Fatal attraction.
Double KO.
Damn, bro, like, I didn't know this.
An opportunity for combat.
All right, and then re-elect.
Your powers are mine!
That's
Bring on the chaos!
I hope you can forgive me.
Rebirth is a mutant's greatest gift.
What's a team of heroes?
Can you imagine that?
Better stop that
It's a
vehicle.
stressful job, yeah. Damn.
Because it wasn't on TikTok.
They've made it halfway. Stop them.
Which made normal country would be called a victory.
Insignificant gnats. We have affirmative action here. It's called the electoral college.
It wasn't 21st century sexism. Democrats run for office as if the voters don't live here. As if they don't go to the grocery store and Starbucks and they actually see women and people of color. And it doesn't
False charge!
The problem remains.
It does if you don't go outside. Like, and this is really true. Like, if you go to a store or something or anywhere, you're just gonna see people getting along and there's not gonna be any problems.
Your attacks are futile.
Like like even in the times, like, so there was this one time, like this crazy. Actually, I don't know. I can maybe tell the story after the video. I'm not gonna go and tell the whole thing. But like even in times where, like, crazy shit has happened, people just usually laugh it off and don't really give a shit. Just ordinary average people. Yeah, they're just Walmart Americans. They don't care about any of this shit. We have a black president.
Pulse charge! Fire!
For the poll last year asked if America is the greatest country in the world. More blacks than his
Only 60 seconds left.
Black than the white progressives.
I accept.
Wow.
Ah, much better.
It asked if racism is built into our society. White progressives agree with that at higher levels than black and Hispanic people. It asked if
You
government
need
should
not
increase
fear.
border security. The result,
Just a
Hispanic Americans.
You cannot hurt me.
Down to 30 seconds.
Do you want to know why this happens?
We must
It's
persevere.
because Hispanic doesn't mean that they're Mexican nationals. It doesn't mean they're Hispanic Americans.
Insignificant gnats.
If you think about that word here, Latino
It seems we have
Americans.
company. Your powers are mine!
It's crazy how, like,
Magneto!
it's so stupid.
Get in there.
Yes, exactly.
The current score is
Okay.
0
With illegal
2
immigration and
1.
whitey.
Time to switch things up,
They're in. They
including
don't want
which
your
side you're on.
And black people can't afford to indulge
Be wary.
rich white people's
No
need
timeline
to end-
exists
Oh my
where
God.
Magneto yields.
You'll need a top-notch team to win this one.
He's gonna say it. Oh my God, he's gonna say it.
Endlessly flagellate themselves. They just want prices to go down
Holy
and
shit.
good job. And black people can't afford to indulge rich white people's need to endlessly flagellate themselves. They just want.
It's, I know.
Round
Honestly,
2.
it feels bad.
I will never allow
Not a
Krakoa
monolith. I
to
know.
suffer the same fate as Kenosha.
For prices to go down and good jobs and the police when you call them. Black people, they're just like us.
30 seconds before you attack. Get ready.
Oh shit!
Why do you lie?
Wow!
Well, dear, how
I
else
spent
is
100 days
anything
telling
done in
voters,
this
I know it
universe?
feels like crime and illegal immigration are bad, but fuck your feelings. Look at this chart. Yes, there's a lot to not like already about the new regime.
Well, it's like them saying that the economy is really good when people still can't afford groceries, and a lot of the gains in the economy,
securing the mission area is your top priority.
Like the top 1 or top 1%. Like a lot of the money that people, yeah, the economy's doing better for people. Here they are now. Like I got like investment report. I made a lot of money. It was really good. Wow, that's awesome. But somebody that's working at like, Target or something like that, I don't think they're saying wow. Or if they are, it's for the opposite reason.
Count the answer. 1 week to ask what you did wrong.
You have my full
support. The basis for Democratic campaigns has become, we're the smart people. That we know, kind of.
Yep.
No need to listen. We know that a priori, which is a Latin phrase the Red Hat people doesn't have a clue about. But they don't need to. Lawn sign.
Oh, there's something. You shall not be harmed. Your attacks are futile. She took it down. Yeah, she took it down after the election.
Help get that vehicle to its destination.
I just thought it was funny.
I'm
Not anymore.
Render me assistance.
On your back, on your back.
Science is real.
No one even debate whether COVID could have escaped from one lab in one city where they were studying it.
Mind exploding plasma!
The New York Times called it racing. Democrats have become like a royal family.
Much better. Yeah.
Maximum pulse!
Oh man, this guy. I don't know. Is it me getting older? I think who's behind you?
Grab feet for my clothes!
I do such an asshole. And it's so your attacks are futile. Retarded is bad. Guys.
Magneto!
It's been around forever. Yeah, I know.
I feel like
Your powers are mine!
I'm getting old, is that it?
I'm
And the same thing can happen to you.
Fire!
your attacks are futile.
Imagine that.
Stop telling people to get with the program and instead make a program worth getting
Don't
with.
come back.
Yeah, I think this is what happens a lot, and it's kind of what I was saying before, like, I mean, with, like, people who have, like, YouTubers and, like, podcasts and use power, it's that what happens is that a lot of people feel like they think that they have, like,
by the eye of Agamotto!
Everybody needs to listen to them because they're that significant.
Gets in there. They are in front of us.
Actually, this guy brings up a really good point in chat. Bill is very insensitive to himself. At least incest children didn't choose to be suffering.
Mind exploding plasma! I need assistance!
You are under my protection.
Never say no to a shield. This is what they really care about. They don't care about the emotions.
Final score,
They care about being seen as a
2-1.
good person. So much of what happens in politics and what happens in media is all about appearances, and it has nothing to do with what's actually.
I have 2 little girls. I don't want them getting run over on a playing field by a formerly male athlete.
No.
But as a Democrat, I'm supposed to be afraid to say that. Yes, there's the problem in a nutshell.
He's right. He's completely right.
Because Congressman Moulton sounds reasonable to me, but his campaign manager immediately resigned in protest. Let me make...
That's crazy. Wow. How do you do that? What's wrong with you? It's a stupid ass example. No, it's not. So let me explain kind of what this is, what the issue is. If people think that, if people have an opinion about like the trans like sports thing, because this is true, that the trans sports thing is a mountain made out of a molehill.
The right heroes
But the
could make
problem
all
is that
the
if
difference.
it's a molehill, then why won't you just concede that it's true? And it's kind of
Be
like flat
wary.
Earth in a way.
No timeline
where if
exists
somebody
where
believes in flat
Magneto
Earth,
yields.
I assume that the mechanism that they use in their brain to make decisions is dysfunctional. So I think what happens is that people see something like this and they say, well, if they believe that, I bet they believe a lot of other stupid shit. My biggest hater ever, who is it? Oh my god. Who is this guy?
Round one, go!
Yes. We can no longer hide from the dangers that lie
He'll
beyond
be coming
our
in 30
shores.
seconds. Stay strong.
Jesus.
Reality is ending. Yet you
No.
remain calm and serene.
No, he's just a retard. He's not a hater. He just got out of the, yeah, he's just an idiot. There we go. Following and hating, yeah, gooning and hating. There we go, that's another one.
The battle
This
starts
as
in
plain as I
5,
can to the
4,
smart people.
3,
the campaign
2,
manager who resigned.
1.
Yeah, let that
You have to
person go.
stop them from securing the mission area.
That guy.
It is in the interest of all mutants that we succeed this day, and so we shall.
It's
Here
important
they are
for
now.
America. You have to stand up.
Much better.
And a good first step toward that goal would be to make the voters not want to punch you in the face.
I think another big factor is that, and this is an issue that I think Republicans failed at, is like kind of a pretty radical change. And I think it also happened with like the Tea Party in like the early 2010s. Is that both parties have a really hard time being able to root out extremism inside of their communities. So what ends up happening is that the extremist people get in there, and then they establish a degree of credibility, and then you can't get rid of them. That's what happens, is that they're not removing and they're not repudiating the people that are inside the party that
You need to
basically
stop
are
that
insane.
vehicle in its tracks.
It's because both parties are trash. Yeah, sure.
They shall not escape our wrath now.
Look, I'm just saying this is what's happening.
Yeah. Much better.
Stop that vehicle!
Saying the reason I'm so mad at the Democrats is because as a voter, you refuse that most important community, the democracy and the environment. And now, I'm no longer saying or defending either, because you, with your aggressively anti-common sense agenda and
That's exactly what it is. Anti-common sense. That's 100%. You see our folks, like, he's completely fucking right.
exclusionary attitude. Senate, White House, Supreme Court, and left us completely unprotected and ready to be.
Rise, my friends!
I will see you then.
He's such a fucking asshole. I love him. Oh my god. Let me see how you guys. Holy fuck. And I tried to warn him a decade ago. Yeah, he was still trying to talk about this. The Supreme Court was already lost. I mean, there was a lot of cases. The last part's so true. Democrats can do their job to bring balance. Yeah. The woke shit isn't what lost Democrats the election. It resolved the economy. I think that the woke stuff came out of it.
Your powers are mine!
I know that a lot of people like to act like this, but the reality is that I think your average Walmart American sees somebody saying that, trans men or trans women should compete against biological women in sports, and your Walmart American sees that and says, wow, that's crazy. I think that's what happens, on the election. Yeah, and so it both did. Oh, no, I'm not saying that the economy didn't have an impact. I think the economy probably had a bigger impact. But what I am saying is that, aside from the economy, this kind of stuff also played a huge role. For example, Kamala didn't focus on the work stuff at all. I have that on the fact that she didn't really focus on her being a woman. She didn't focus on her being, non-white. She focused on, issues, but the problem is that I think that people voting against her were voting against her. It was everybody. I really don't think that she did a whole lot. She did some meeting with Trump. Yeah, campaigning. She did all that if she did. Yeah, I don't think it was as much. I remember an interview with her. If you compare like the way that she ran her campaign compared to like Hillary Clinton, I think that it's a night and day difference. I do. Huge difference.
You stop them in their tracks.
Yeah, shouldn't talk about anything else besides bashing Trump. Yeah, no, I mean, but that's still not what not the same thing.
No escape.
I require some aid.
Bill Mayer made a video about Mr. Beast.
Finally, can we at least agree that giving is good?
No.
Bring this up because one of the more mind-blowing stories of the internet.
Your attacks are futile.
Kindness for clicks. Mr. Beast.
In his final moment.
Mr. Beast, world top star, takes fire for being a white man. Oh my god. Oh, bro, well, we can't all be perfect, right? Holy shit. Mr. Beast under scrutiny again after biggest video ever inviting controversy. Mr. Beast is only a good person for views. Oh my god. Bro, you know why people say this? I'm gonna tell you why. It's because there's losers that sit in their mom's fucking house all day. Just like but they're trying to find out a way that Mr. Beast is doing it wrong because if they acknowledge that Mr. Beast is a better person, it obviously begs the question, well, why aren't you doing that? And so the way that they rationalize that they're okay doing nothing is to downplay what so they don't have to feel insecure about the fact that their life is worth nothing.
Your powers are mine!
You got them all!
We all know they felt that, man.
That's right.
Born again!
Anyway, he takes some of the money made from the 38 billion
You
views
stop
and plows
them in
it
their
back into
tracks.
doing things like this year partnering with businesses to provide cataract surgery for 1,000 blind people.
Down to 30 seconds.
Yeah, this was, a lot of people were very upset about this happening. I remember whenever this happened. We must persevere. Wrong, yep.
That should be
There it is. And this is again. How much do you want to bet the person who wrote this article has done anything of value in his entire life? I think it's literal worthless people.
A Washington Post reporter tweeted, "What truly moves Furing is society's
They hit
view
a
of
checkpoint.
disabled people."
Now might be a good time to stop
This girl
them.
always says stupid shit. Anytime I read her name, it's because it's something stupid. She's been doing this for like 15 years. It's not right at all. This
now, my child.
Society's view of disabled. Society's view of disabled. So you're saying that society
Only 60
is
seconds
disabled.
left.
So then helping the disabled see wouldn't that allow them to see when the eye
Score one.
And BuzzFeed agreed Mr. Beast seems to regard disability as something that needs to be solved.
That's right.
Better stop that vehicle.
Disability's bad, and nobody should have a
Gather
disability.
around.
That's right. I remember reading that article myself. The person who wrote the
Now or
article
never.
was a
Stop
moron.
them.
And we investigated.
Down to 30 seconds.
We were certain that they were in fact morons.
Chin up.
This is what I said. Like, remember back when, like, in the beginning of the show, whenever I was talking about that Skara thing, about how losers on the internet live in some abstract universe that doesn't even make sense to the losers. These are the losers. They're the ones that are writing these posts. Exactly. The person who wrote the article is obviously not lying.
Got him, Tippy.
Disability is something that needs
Rise,
to be
my
Better
friend!
stop that vehicle. The current score is 0
course it is.
2,
Somebody says,
3.
I did take a course on this. There's a subset of
Time
disabled
to
people who
switch
regard
things
it as
up,
part of them, the same way that some
including which
autistic
side
people
you're
either
on.
see disability as part of them. It's a complex topic. Okay,
Be
you're
wary.
right. So if you think
No
that, then just don't
timeline
get the change.
exists
But like,
where
for example,
Magneto
being
yields.
blind,
You'll need a top-notch
guys.
team to win this one.
Daredevil isn't real, okay? Being blind is a massive disability. Not being able to hear is a massive fucking disability. This is something that impairs your life and makes you less of a functioning human. There are things that you now cannot do. I understand that people, it's a diva. It is a diva, and there's no way that it's not a diva. You can come to
no
terms with
longer
it,
hide
and
from
you
the
can think
dangers
that that's
that
part
lie
of your
beyond our
identity.
shores.
But it is a disability, and it is a downgrade. The only times where it's not a downgrade are in fucking superhero
30 seconds
movies.
before you
That's
attack.
just it.
Get
People
ready.
are living in a fantasy world.
And what truly needs curing is blindness. Here's how I know this.
It's like having a resurrection
The
story.
newly sighted people are cheering.
Yeah, they're happy.
Because Mr. B, whoever the fuck that is,
What do you mean, whoever the fuck? Shut up, Bill. Shut up. I'm so sick
The
of
battle starts in 5,
this old fuck
4,
sitting
3,
here on TV
2, 1.
doing this shit.
Don't
Shut
forget,
the fuck
securing
up,
the
Bill.
mission area is your
Everybody
top
knows
priority.
Mr. Beast. Come on, just because he's on because he's not on a TV show, who the fuck watches TV? Jesus.
Much better.
Bill's an asshole, but a lot of times he's right. You know, it's like this guy,
Your attacks are
there's like between 2 and 5 times a year where he makes a video, and he's the only person saying, he's the only person, and I love it. Like those 2 to 5 times a year, I'm so excited.
I don't get the rope. They want nothing more than being the best, except when they really are one, and then they tell you, I don't have to fuck you.
I feel like
Last month, Mr. B.
you shall not be harmed.
Let's talk about the wells in Africa, huh?
They shall not escape right now.
Trying to make the Kenyan government look stupid. Oh, a white guy comes in here and he can solve all their problems. Yeah, wow, how fucked up is that? Well, I remember this. Yeah. Bad. Bad.
I'll hit you on this location as well.
White
Your attacks are futile.
And all of a sudden, he gets all of the attention.
Well, that's because you were 100 wells. You see how that happens? It's crazy that they're actually racist. Isn't that just nuts? That like it's not even like, for example, like I'll see some shit like this, right? And I don't mean to like divert, but like there's this video I saw today, and it was this guy, and he's at the, this is like in Hollywood, bro. Watch. He comes in, bro.
Exactly what I
Bro, he just
feel
shuts
like
down
myself
London.
again.
This guy says, no, man.
You cannot hurt me.
Like, Can
someone scratch my back? Your powers are mine!
Look at that. It's like we've gone all the way where people are and it just Yeah, I can see that being a problem. I wouldn't
Only
know
60
because
seconds left. I could use a soldier like thou to help. Here's this life. Help you.
That so white guy, always taking fresh water and shoving it down our throats. Oh.
And I love how it's always, and another really big factor is it's not our throats. You got to keep in mind.
Two
Because the
primal
actual
forces
people that are affected by is like growing and he's helping everybody out. He's doing everything, and, you know, they just decide to fucking crucify him?
The final 10 seconds!
Like, why would people do this? And then now I see this happen. Now, I'm not saying Mr. Beast is Jesus, but I see that strain of humanity.
Final
and it's like,
score,
holy
0,
crap. I
2,
bet they did
3.
cross. I bet they nailed them up to the cross. They're like, oh, you think you could do it better than us? Well, let's see how you could do it on the cross, you son of a bitch. And they stab him. That's what I think happened. I don't even know how this happens. But there's like an element of people that are like that. I've never, because like you can think about this abstractly, right? You can always make an abstraction of something and think about it on a theoretical level. But then it's another thing to see it in action. Jesus cured blind people? Or Lazarus, what was he, fucking dead or something? Now he's alive?